this second mission titled Backwater Station.
Receiving incoming transmission. Comlink established.
Hey, what's up, man? Got your refugees tucked in nice and tight? Provide you can sidestep any more surprises from our Confederate friends and we can keep them away from those critters, they should have an easy time.
Priority alert. Backwater station under attack by unknown alien organisms. Distress beacon activated at 0658. Alerting Confederate headquarters on Tarsonis.
It's the Zerg.
We've already received the distress beacon from Backwater.
It's the Zerg.
You just sit tight. You'll be notified if there's anything we think you need to know.
Damn! Listen, if we wait for Confederate reinforcements, that station's in dust. I'll head out there now, do what I can. You send in some militia, and we'll save those folks. Trust me.
So, Raynor must survive. Again, he will be in his Vulture, I believe, for this mission. And then we must eradicate the alien infestation, which is the Zerg. Zerg's my favorite race, so I'm a little biased. One thing I will say that I enjoy about the StarCraft 1 campaign compared to StarCraft 2 is the map design. The map design's really good in these missions because it breaks all of the conventions that it establishes in the multiplayer. In the multiplayer, it's typical to have like your command center surrounded by like a semicircle of minerals with a Vespene geyser on the side. In StarCraft 2 that changes as well. StarCraft 2 it's 2 Vespene geysers per base typically. And then of course the gold base which has gold minerals which return at twice the yield size. If you notice me like jumping quickly from one to the other, I'm setting control groups. With units you can set control groups of 12, and with buildings you can just set a control group of 1. You can't multiple select buildings, like I can't select the barracks and the command center at once. So we're going to train a couple more SCVs, have them rally right there. Like I said though, when these SCVs finish, even if I have them clicked to this, they will not automatically start mining. Just kind of the qualms of 1998 programming. Yeah, he's just kind of standing there, so you do have to force them to collect minerals. And then, of course, that's going to change the behavior of the other SCVs. So we're going to train up a couple more SCVs. And then we're going to go Zerg hunting. So audio cues are very important in StarCraft, both 1 or 2. In StarCraft 1 they're very important because it can alert you to things around the map. The mini-map in the lower left, if you double click wherever the unit is, so like, oh, see, Raynor was trying to go this way because the Marines were blocking the ramp. Anyway, so if I have hit 3, my command center will be selected, but if I double tap 3, it'll bring the screen over to where the command center is. Whereas, same with your army, but it'll just try and center it. So if your army's like spread out over a large distance, it'll just center it as best it can on the map. Bam, bam, bam. So the other thing about the sound in StarCraft is it's really catchy, especially the music. I love the music. The music's great. Any themes, Protoss, Zerg, Terran, all of it's good. So that is a creep colony. We'll get to that later though. Yeah, it's auto-centering me on the barrack or on the bunker, so I couldn't even move. Sweet. Oh, cool. Firebats. Firebats are awesome. They're the closest the Terrans have to a melee unit in this game. Actually, I don't think Terrans have a melee unit in Starcraft 2 either, now that I think about it. I mean, like, aside from, like, landmines, but, like, landmines are obviously melee. The spider mines in this also are very good as well. So we're gonna go there. Alright, this is jammy. Right on, man, right on. I don't think there are hydralisks in this level. Because this is the campaign, I'm not trying too hard as far as micro is concerned. One thing that is cool, Terrans can lift off their buildings. Not all of them, only most of them. Supply depots can't lift, and they can't lower into the ground like they do in StarCraft 2 either. Yep, there are hydras on this level. So, as you can see, my units were trying to path around. So it's always important to get as close as you possibly can. Kind of anti-intuitive as far as the Marines are concerned. But I did start the research, which just finished, for the increased Marine range. Another good tip, if you're just getting into StarCraft for the first time, is anytime something happens, right? Forces are under attack. It says that on the minimap. If I hit spacebar, it'll automatically bring the screen to wherever the last ping on the minimap was. So, in that case, it brought me closer to the Marines or the Firebat that I was just building. So, I'm running a little low on units. So before I go finish this, I'm gonna wait for my forces to build up a little. Can I build engineering bays? I do have access to engineering bay. Engineering bay is very important for the Terrans because it contains all of your upgrades. Alright, so you're good. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Oh, not enough minerals.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay, we're gonna wait for this group to finish. So this is gonna be... Nope, group 2. Control 2 resets the group. So, like, in order to set groups, you just hit Control 1 or Shift 1. Control 1 sets it to whatever you have selected. Shift 1 adds it to whatever group. So this is actually going to be group 2. So we're going to set this Shift 2 as group 2, and then we're going to set this as group 1. And then I should have 4 more Marines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So if you hold Shift, right? So I've got these 2 selected. If I click and drag, it gets these 2, but I already have these 2 selected. So if I hold Shift and then drag, it'll grab everything else and add it to the group automatically. Alright, where did that engineering bay go? Yeah. So my SCV was just kind of chilling there, doing his own thing. There's no like indicator that you have like an idle worker in Star 1 versus Star 2. So you really have to like stay on top of that in order to keep your workforce optimized. So we're gonna bring 1 and 2 down here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, attack, 2, attack, 1. We're gonna want to get them up the ramp as best we can. So group 2 can also come up the ramp. Here's group 2. If you attack click, right? So if you notice, my cursor turns into a yellow circle. That means the units in the group will move to that position while under attack formation. You actually, if you set to patrol, it's better. Just as far as how the AI prioritizes it. So there's all these tiny, weird optimizations to get around that 1998 programming that everybody loves so much. So that should be the end of the mission.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Marshal,
Wow.
by destroying a vital Confederate installation, you and your men have violated standard colonial law. As of right now,
Bam, 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 bam.
just
Nobody likes you, Edmund Duke.
your weapons peaceably.
Are you out of your mind? If we hadn't burned that damn factory, this entire colony could have been overrun. Maybe if you hadn't taken your sweet time in getting here.
Now, I asked you nice the first time, boy. I didn't talk to you. Now throw down them weapons.
Guess you wouldn't be a Confederate.
Raynor hates authority. I really don't like Jim Raynor. That's just me, though. I know a lot of people who really like Jim Raynor, and that's okay. Starcraft has a wide berth of characters that we all have grown to love.